Welcome back to another retro review from Golf Monthly. And this time we've gone back. We've gone way back. And I've got an absolute titan of the putting game. I have got the Ping Anser. Now this thing has won over 500 tour events. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if it's still got the magic on the greens. Now we've teamed up with Golf Clubs for Cash, one of the leading retailers of pre-loved equipment, and they provided us with some absolute gems to test. So please go and check them out in the description below. Now this is one of the most iconic golf clubs of all time, and we've picked it up for the bargain price of $67.99. Now with some putters touching the £400 mark and beyond that don't have the major heritage that this thing does, we could have a bargain on our hands. Now the Anser was designed by Ping founder Carsten Solheim in 1966, and just about every putter that's been designed since features some elements that come from the Ping Anser. It was the first of its kind. It had an offset hosel which gave you a really clean, clear view look of the face that hadn't been seen before, and its cavity back design produced a lot of forgiveness that again hadn't been seen before in putters. Now this thing went on to win multiple tour events, over 500 tour events, 19 major victories recorded, and even the great Tiger Woods has won all 15 of his majors with an Anser style putter, albeit wrapped up in a Scotty Cameron bow. So in terms of the looks of this putter, it's actually really hard for me to create a discussion around it because it's just so familiar. It's like an old friend. It really is the blueprint that all of the other modern putters have been designed around, whether it's the Scotty Cameron Newport line, whether it's the Odyssey numbers 1 and 2, they all come back to this putter. So in terms of testing and seeing if it still stands up over time, I brought its modern day equivalent, the Anser PLD, and now we're going to hit a few putts and find out if it still has the magic. Right, so I really do want to see how this performance stacks up against its modern day equivalent. But it's actually really difficult to find a fair test for putting. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I found out here at the beautiful Paliero golf course in Madeira here on the 17th green. And I found a really difficult 80-foot putt, a really long, narrow green here, up and over a tier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 6 putts with each to find out how they perform from long range, see if there's any more forgiveness or stability in the newer model, for example. And then I'm going to add each putt up to get a total distance away from the hole for those 6 putts, and we'll compare afterwards. So let's get going. I'm going to start with the PLD first. It felt really solid, nice and soft actually. It's on a great line. That's a promising start. It is milling on the face of this PLD, whereas the original Anser doesn't have that milling, so that actually felt really soft, so it'd be interesting to see how that compares. That bobbled a bit and a little bit under hit, I think. It's doing okay. Probably about 6 feet that, which isn't horrendous. That's a little bit more like it, again on a decent line. It's jumping around a little bit. But that's pretty tight. I'm happy with that. I'm going to get those and go again. Okay, well that was a decent first effort with the PLD. My first 3 totaled 13 feet and my second bunch was 11 feet, so I got a bit better. So the overall total to beat for the Anser is 24 feet. Let's see if I can do it. So looking down behind the ball, it's a really almost identical profile. It's just the colour that's different. Noticeably different feel. So the soft milling of the face, it's a bit harsher off the face of this. There's a little slot in the bottom as well, makes it a little bit tingier, which is actually quite nice. That was really well on line, that was. Another decent putt there if it rolls out a bit. Okay, happy with those. And that's got every chance if it misses that ball. Miss it! Ooh, just shy. I'll see how far those are and I'll come back and hit 3 more. Wow, that was very interesting. So that was actually a dead tie. So it's 24 feet on the first one. And then on my first go with the original Anser, I was 11.5 feet was my total distance. And my second effort there was 12.5 feet. So that comes to precisely 24 feet. So it's a dead tie from long range. So we're gonna have to split these somehow. So let's go and hit some short putts. Right, sorry to interrupt, but if you're enjoying this retro review, please hit the like button and go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so you can see all of our upcoming videos. Also comment down below, if you ever played the Ping Anser putter or there's anything else you want us to review, that'd be great. So I've come here to 8 feet away, and that is the PGA Tour average point where it becomes 50-50. Pros on the PGA Tour hold 50% of the 8-foot putts. So anything above that with this would be really, really successful. So I'm gonna hit 10 with this, 10 with that, and we're gonna see the difference. Let's go. It's just outside the right. And just like that. Right, we're gonna speed it up and I'm gonna hit all 10. Let's see what we get. So that was 9 out of 10 from that 50-50 range. I have to say I'm very, very pleased with that. Let's see what the PLD can do. Oh. So that is for the PLD 7 out of 10. So on the short range putts, the original Anser can still very, very much cut the mustard. Right, well, I really enjoyed that. Like all of these retro reviews, that was actually a really nice trip down memory lane and actually quite nostalgic. I felt like Seve at points there hitting those putts, which was really, really cool. But the point of this video was actually to see whether this could stack up against a modern day equivalent. And the answer, forgive the pun, is a resounding yes. On the longer putts that I hit, and I know it was kind of a crude test, but it's kind of the best you can do with a putter. On the longer putts, it was identical. They were both 24 feet in total. The feel was very different. This was a little harsher, a little tingier, but I actually quite liked that feel, to be perfectly honest. And then as you saw from the shorter putts, I was an absolute machine with this. 9 out of 10 from 8 foot, I was chuffed to bits with. The PLD performed well as well, but unbelievably, the original Anser took it. So for $67.99, you can get a piece of history, and a piece of history that still really performs.